What's up, sports bettors? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, coming to you with some WNBA best bets for today. We have three pretty awesome WNBA games. Well, at least we have four of the best teams in the WNBA playing tonight. The Seattle Storm against the Chicago Sky in Chicago. Awesome game, two of the best teams. Then we have the Las Vegas Aces at home against the Dream. The Aces might be the best team in the WNBA. And then we have the Sun in LA against the Sparks. They could be the best team in the WNBA. So really the top three teams we have playing here tonight, all separately, of course, but three pretty big games. So I'm here to give you my best bets found using the OddsJam positive expected value page. With that said, before I get into it, I would appreciate if you could like the video, comment, let me know your feedback, good or bad. And then, of course, if you could subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Helps me out a ton as part of my role here at OddsJam is to help with the YouTube channel. So any support you can give me in the form of a like, a comment, or a subscribe helps me out a ton. So let's get into these bets. So we see there's three on the page here. Whenever I start my betting process for the day, I like to go to OddsJam, look at the positive EV page. Because what OddsJam does, it's constantly pulling lines from every major sportsbook. You see here all these different sports books, trying to identify valuable betting opportunities. So we see three here, actually for the same exact game, the Las Vegas Aces versus the Atlanta Dream. So all in all, the Vegas Aces, Las Vegas, they're pretty heavy favorites here. It does look like there is a play on their point spread, minus 10.5. Unfortunately, the two on BetMGM, I probably won't be able to get more than $10 on because BetMGM has me limited. But the one that I actually like a lot for scheduling reasons is this Atlanta Dream +7 minus 110 on Caesars. So talk about this play for a little bit, and then I'll get into my scheduling spot that I'm talking about. The play is, again, the Atlanta Dream +7 minus 110 on Caesars. The OddsJam line prices this at minus 125. With the VIG removed, is priced at minus 115. So there's about a 5-cent gap between the OddsJam no VIG line and the line that we are betting it at on Caesars. Equates to a profit margin of 2.11%. So for every $100 bet on this individual play, you could figure to make $2.11. They're only charging 18 cents of market with here, which is a pretty tight market. Just subtracts the difference between these two numbers. But for the WNBA, as I mentioned in previous videos, the first thing that I do before I even think about placing a bet is I like to look at the event page and I like to see where every book is pricing this play at. So we see every other book prices this spread actually at 6.5 or 6. PointsBet, WinBet, Tipico, BetOnline, and the OddsJam line price this at 6.5. And then looks like PlayUp prices this at 6. So this 7 here on Caesars is a true outlier compared to every other book. Another reason why I like this one is every book either has the 6.5 at 50-50 chance of occurring, right? The minus 115 each way basically means it's a 50-50. Same thing with the minus 110 each way here. But Tipico and the OddsJam line, pulled from the sharpest line in the world, thinks that the most likely outcome is that the Dream cover 6.5. So getting it a half point higher than that at +7 has a ton of value. Now, if we're just looking at the teams themselves, if we go to stats and we just look at just the net rating of both of these teams, Vegas is going to be ranked higher in every statistical category over the Dream. Net rating, Vegas is number 2. The Dream are all the way down at 8 with a negative net rating. Offensive net rating, Vegas is number 1. Dream is down second to worst. Defensive net rating, the Aces, where are they? Down at 6. Actually, the one thing the Dream do better is they have a better defensive net rating. But overall, the Aces are significantly better than the Dream. So why do I like this spot? I actually like it for scheduling purposes. As we can see, the Las Vegas Aces have been on the road. Their last home game was Saturday, July 23rd. So they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight road games. Now they fared pretty well. They went 4-2, in that stretch. Like I said, they fared pretty well. But one thing that is a scheduling spot that works for the WNBA, for the NBA, is looking for teams that are the first game home after a long road streak. It might sound counterintuitive, but Teams, if you pull players, always say the hardest game is their first home game back after a road trip of about a week or basically 4+ road games, which is exactly what this one is here. So while there is value on the aces covering the full game spread, them getting out to a slow start, getting the dream +7, I do think is actually a pretty valuable play here. So all in all, the win percentage of this play is about 53.5% according to the no-vig odds of the OddsJam line. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Caesars and lock this one in. Just a half unit play for me. Betting on halves, I generally don't put more than half a unit on just because it's an alternate market. There's a little more risk there. But I do think that the Atlanta Dream +7 first half spread is a really good bet. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in. Bet has been placed. So now let me just add this to my bet tracker. And now the next two plays that we see on the screen here, the aces to cover the full game and the game to go under, both of these on BetMGM, which is unfortunate. But if we look at these in a new tab, we can see, again, the same thing we did earlier with the first half one. We just want to see where every market prices this. Now, I actually do really like this under a lot. If we look at, I'm going to check this one out first to see the value. And again, what we want to do is just look where every book prices this relative to the rest of the market. So the play is BetMGM under 168.5 -110. And no other book prices this total at 168.5. PointsBet, Caesars, WinBet, BetOnline, and PlayUp think this spread should actually be 168, so a half point. FanDuel, Tipico, Bookmaker, FoxBet, and the OddsJam line think that it should be a full point lower at 167.5. And actually, Bookmaker slightly favors the under 167.5. So even though it's a full point lower, they slightly favor the under, as does the OddsJam line under 167.5, as does Tipico, which isn't viewed as one of the sharpest books in the world, but just another tool in our toolbox of this under being a really good play. So I am actually going to take this one. I'm going to try and put 3 units on it because I do think this is a really good play. I'm willing to bet that I'm not going to be able to get the full 3 units, but let's see here. So I want to take the under 168.5. I'm going to try and get, excuse me, a unit and a half. Sorry, unit and a half, not 3 units. I'm going to try get 150 on this. They only let me get $11.20, which is really upsetting. So for those of you at home, unit sizing this one, put 1.5 units on this one. I unfortunately can only get $11.20. Again, very frustrating. And now if we want to look at the point spread, looks like this one is still plus EV. We can see what the logic is here, whether this one is as good of a play. And it is, I mean, the same logic applies in terms of no other book giving you better odds than -110, or excuse me, than -10.5 for the spread itself. It does look like majority of books actually favor the Dream at 11.5 as opposed to the under, where they favored the under even at a full point lower. So to me, this shows that the books actually think the most likely scenario is that this ends at exactly 11 points. They're favoring Vegas at 10.5. They're favoring the Dream at 11.5. If you can get on a book somewhere, Dream, or if the aces win by exactly 11, you could probably get some juicy odds. So generally, this would be another half unit play for me, not a huge value here. I unfortunately obviously won't be able to get that amount on it. I probably will be able to get $10 or something. So let's see what BetMGM allows me to get. They let me get $11.20 on this one. So that will be what I'm going to put on this Las Vegas Aces one. But for those of you at home, it is a half unit play. And that is all I got for you. Those are going to be my 3 bets, all in the Aces versus Dream game. So I appreciate you guys watching. Again, let me know your feedback, like the video, comment, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. And that's all I got. So I appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.